Morning, grade 8, and welcome to the Mr. Hagen Show. I hope you all had a supreme weekend and enjoyed the monstrumental weather that we had. I know I did. In today's episode, we are going to have our morning meeting. We will discuss the schedule for this week, and we will go over the work that you will be completing today. I'm also going to discuss a little bit about what the end of the year is going to look like. First, our theme. Look to the Lord and His strength. Seek His face always. This weekend, you guys were assigned to read Proverbs chapter 13 and 14. From chapter 13, I wanted to pick verse 4 because, again, it has the word sluggards in it. Sluggard. I love it. But I didn't. I picked verse 3. Verse 3 says, "Those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly will come to ruin." It reminds me of the sayings, think before you speak, and if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I also picked verse 20. It says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." It really reminded me that we need to be careful who we choose to be our friends. And it's also especially important to you guys as you move on to high school and you meet new people and make new friends. From chapter 14, I selected verse 3. "A fool's mouth lashes out with pride, but the lips of the wise protect them." It's almost identical to chapter 13, also verse 3. And I selected it for the same reasons. We need to be careful about the words we use and say. We really do need to think before we speak. Sorry, but I got another one. There were so many good verses, but I narrowed it down to 4. So the last one that I picked is from chapter 14, verse 29. It jumped out at me because I've shared with you, I believe on a couple of occasions in our videos, that I'm not always a very patient person. Verse 29 says, "Whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly." A wonderful reminder for me, stop displaying folly, be patient. Today we're reading from chapter 15. Keep the prayer requests coming, and don't forget to spend time with God today. So, we have 3 weeks left. 15 days. That's not a lot. I shared with you during our Zoom meeting last week the units that we hope to complete. So when we usually complete a unit, we have a test or some big assignment or something. So we didn't talk about how does that work if we're ending all of our units at the same time. Are we going to do 5 tests on the last day? So no, that's not the way it's going to work. My plan then is to complete all of our units by Tuesday, June 9. On Wednesday, June 10, I will post all tests, the math exam, and any other unit ending assignments. That will give you 3 days, the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday, to complete all of them at your own pace. There will also be no science that week. So, hopefully that's clear as mud. What it means, though, is that we have no time to be sluggards. We will be spending extra time so we can wrap up some of these units. So you may have more work in the last 2.5 weeks. It also means there is no time for you to fall behind. Some of you have been handing in late assignments. From this point on, you really do need to complete everything when it is assigned. There's just not time for you to fall behind and catch up. Don't be sluggards. Do the work. This week, we are finishing up our unit in math on relations. We'll have our test on Wednesday, and on Thursday, I'm going to give you a Gauss test. In composition, we will continue to work on our essays and even start a rough draft. In literature, we're going to continue looking at the book of Proverbs. Today, we're going to be looking at the themes, topics, issues that Proverbs deals with. History is where we're going to actually spend our most of our extra time. So some of the assignments are going to be longer than they normally are. Today, we're going to be looking at the Native Treaties and the beginning of the Northwest Rebellion, the first war that the country of Canada is ever involved in. In Bible, we're going to begin to read the book of Habakkuk. So this week, we're going to be reading the first 2 chapters. Remember, there is only 3 chapters, but we're going to read the first 2. And we're going to take a look at this conversation that Habakkuk has with God. And how does it relate to us today? So what are we doing today? Today, math, sheet 12.4, graphing relations. Watch the video, complete the sheet 12.4, and take a picture of your sheet. All the directions are found in the assignment on Google Classroom. There is no quiz. Sorry. I'm sure you'll be fine with that. In literature, we are diving for pearls. So we are looking at the themes, issues, and topics that Proverbs covers. There is no video for that, but you have to read the slides. In history, we are looking at the most important aspect of this whole unit. It's the Native Treaties. The decisions and the actions of our government towards the natives in the late 1800s still reverberates with us as Canadians today. So, the videos and the assignments are longer, but it is important. Today, you have a lot of videos to watch, but I've saved you some time. I've given you questions, but I've also answered them all for you. So you don't need to do that. So watch the videos and also read the slides. The slides is where I have all your answers. That's it. I know it's a lot, but you guys are monstrumentally awesome, so I know that you can do it. You know, my computer no longer underlines the word monstrumental, so either it really is a word now, or my computer has just given up on me. Supreme. Well, in history, we are going to be looking at the natives and how the settlers really crushed their way of life. One of the ways this happened was the settlers slaughtered the buffalo into extinction. The natives' lives revolved around the buffalo and the buffalo hunt, and therefore they were forced to change their way of living. My question for you today is, what animal would you like to be extinct? What animal could you just live without? I'm Mr. Hagen, and I like cookies.